Welcome back to Elite Jamaica. So right now we're at the St. James Parish Church in St. James, Barbados. Alright, and as I promised guys, I was going to give you a tour of this church and give you some history about this church because the historical sites here in Barbados are really upkept and I really admire how they take care of their history. Anyway, wanna follow me and let me show you all that. And as you notice guys, all of here was supposed to be a cemetery because there are still graves here, but some of them have been covered over. Let's go look at these graves first. And the rain is coming down. So there are no headstones visible on that one. The other one has an headstone, but I can't really see what's written on it. So guys, as you know, the St. James Parish Church is the oldest church in Barbados. This church, and as from historical records, most of the buildings, the historical buildings in Barbados, they were built between 1650 and 1658. So that really shows that this church been built from 1628 is very old. I'm not sure if I mixed up a while ago, but yeah, the Barbados church, this church, the St. James Parish Church, was built in 1628. And all the other historical sites here in Barbados were actually built after 1650, as from historical records that I've seen so far. This is a grave, something like a mausoleum, where it's underneath. A very old grave. And it's like a whole family, one, two, wife and husband maybe. But there are no inscriptions on the graves, so we don't really know who was buried here. So as you know guys, I like to film the outside of the site first before I actually venture inside. I'm just looking if I can see any markers, anything written on these graves so I can have an idea of when these persons were buried. Alright, so this is in Henry Udolphus Boyle, born 13th of February 1846 and died 9th of May 1904. Alright, so this grave was here from 1904 and it's he and his wife, both of them here. Yeah, this should be his wife, La Gaskin, who died March 2nd, 1867, aged 54. I'm still searching for a older grave. I want to see something from 16th or 17th century. Alright, so this is also a grave right here. No inscriptions on this one. This one is sort of fancy though. It's like a family, you know. So we go further around. What's on these signs? Wheelchair parking. There are more graves around here. And let me take a look at this. This is another grave right here. Seems to be an important grave because it's chained off. So what I am wondering now, which of these would be the church? This is the church, but what's that over there? That may have been the rectory. And here's a grave just like what we saw at the St. John's Parish Church. Going down. I'm not sure who is buried here. There are no headstones, no inscriptions. Alright, so we have an headstone around here. 1865. Someone was born 1863. This is from 1865 right here. If you notice, the date is on that one. Alright. And we get over here. Here's a monument. So you know we're gonna look at that. I'm not seeing a date on this one, but you could use the camera, maybe the camera will see it. Alright, so if we look over here, this is a monument, but guys, just take a look at the church from this angle. It's just magnificent. The windows up there, this little piece right here, this is really old and this is really English. And this, I think, is the Jacobean style, the same style that the plantations are in. I think that would have been the rectory over there, because this is the church and normally the rectory is right beside. All right. Perfect line. My OCD will never allow me to miss this. So guys, let's look, what is this monument for? This is indeed a monument. However, it looked Masonic. The center stone, that, it looked Masonic to me. Beauty, elegance and harmony. Dedicated to God's glory, 1999, December 12th. So it's not a monument where someone is buried, it's more like something dedicated to, I'm not gonna run any serious joke. I was just gonna say maybe it's that person buried here, but yeah. Yeah guys, so over there seems to be where like preachers would stay, pastors and all of that. And let us now go attend the church. All right, so we got about 3 minutes filming time left and we have to make use of it. All right. Yeah guys, I've been on the road filming since this morning and yeah, we've got so much accomplished and we just gotta make sure that the clips stays with us. Whoa. Oh, look on the date, cause that still just to me something. Okay, so Barbados National Trust Building of Historic Interest. So it's a historic building. I'm not sure if it is still being used. To me, it seems as if it is still being used. However, we can't be sure. Oh, this is a light. Seems like it's just plants growing over there. All right, here's our next, what seems to be a monument. So let's see who is buried over here. Some of these graves are really important. Oh, it's a lot of people buried over here. Okay, so these are boxes with people who were cremated. Names 1921, 2010. These aren't the ones I searched for. Yeah guys, so I'm not really looking for the newer graves, I'm looking for the older ones. And as my friend said here, there are people who actually bought their spots already, but they are not dead as yet. This says this garden of remembrance was dedicated in February 1989. Mortal remains are here, but they are only a coat that has been laid off because the owner needs it no more. Those are powerful words. However, we have to move on. We have limited time left to film here. This is lovely. So no more looking at graves today, guys. We have to try to find what's inside the church if we're able to go inside of the church. And we are gonna be trespassing today, because that's the only way to get inside of this building. And it doesn't seem as if we will be able to get inside. It's all locked up. God bless King William, 1696. That's written on the bell. This is history, and these are one of the real bells. As you know, guys, I've always been speaking about how they have destroyed the bells, removed the bells from where they were, so that people don't use the bells because they were of medical significance. All right, it's locked. so we won't be able to get inside. We won't be able to see inside of this church, which isn't really a problem if we don't get to see inside of the church. We have already seen the outside. Blessings everyone, and welcome back to Elite Jamaica. So today we're at the Blackman's Bridge and the Gully in Barbados. Alright, and in the video I did about historical sites in Barbados before I actually came to Barbados, I had featured this gully in that video. This gully was built in 1651, 1658, I think. I'm not sure. I'm going to put the date on screen, however. And it was made from limestone, bricks, sand, molasses, eggshells, and egg white. The molasses and the egg white, it was used to keep the material together when building the walls of this gully. And it is being preserved as like a wildlife reserve where the monkeys and other animals are free to roam inside of this gully. And it runs a long length in Barbados. This bridge is, I think they said 4 meters, and 4 meters? I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it on screen, guys. All right, so let me show you this, and so you can get a better understanding. Yeah, guys, so this is the surroundings. We drove on that road to get here. This is the gully in front of me. If you look down here, as I told you, it's a wildlife reserve. So there are lots of animals and birds inside of this gully. Even monkeys. I've been seeing a lot of monkeys since I'm in Barbados. It's just that I'm not able to catch them on camera whenever time I see them. Even where I stay, there are monkeys who are always playing on the lawn. But I'm just lucky to see them whenever time I'm not filming. However, I caught monkeys at the zoo. I saw monkeys at the zoo, and yeah, I think you saw that video. If you haven't seen that video as yet, you can go back and view that video. Now, as you look down there, you can see that it's somewhere that animals have been walking a lot. And I'm gonna go up here and see if I can get a better angle, see if I can see any of those creatures. Here again, we have a better view down there. And because of my fright of heights, that's a bird right there, I'm here standing and it feels as if this place is pulling me over, you know. So this is this side. I'm going to be showing you the other side of the gully. I was just hoping to see one of those monkeys or, you know, some animal. But they are down there and it seems as if it's somewhere that we can actually go. But I'm not seeing how to get down there. And I wouldn't want to go down there and buck up in monkeys. But this is the underside of the bridge, guys. You know, it's a really old bridge. One of the longest standing bridges here in Barbados. I am hearing monkeys, but I'm just not seeing them. It seems like there's a truck there to go down into the gully. However, I'm not gonna take that chance because I haven't ever encountered snakes or stuff like that. Even though I've seen monkeys, I haven't had a good encounter with one. I wouldn't want to go down there and come in contact with a monkey, especially a large monkey, because they can be dangerous when they're ready. There's steel bars inside of the bridge. That's another handle down there. We'll come over here. It's another angle. So you see there is actually a track here that I could walk and go down there. However, I don't think that's allowed because wherever there are animals, they're always saying that we should, you know, protect the animals, do not feed the animals, do not harass the animals, you know. And there's another road going up there. I'm not sure what's up there, but let me take a look. I'm going to Gully. Let me take a look what's up here and if I can find a path to get down inside of that gully. Again, we have around here, it's just forest. Just the greenery is so amazing. This reminds me of St. Thomas in Jamaica, you know. And I can sense that there are animals around, I'm just not seeing them. But there's another gate up there. These are some posts. And as you notice, this was a full wall, but it has been broken down. Yeah, so let me see if this is a track. This is a track to get down in the gully, but I'm not gonna go down there. No way I'm going down there. This is another gate up here. Let me see what's up here. There are trucks all over inviting me to come down into the gully. Because if ever I see a monkey in my path, I won't be passing him. There's the other gate. I think there should be a plantation house up there. Yes, there is. However, I'll venture no further because there are warnings at the front that we should not venture onto the property. There are cameras watching, so even if I wanted to, I'm just not gonna do that. Alright, I'm gonna show you the signs out front which tells you that cameras are monitoring this property 24/7. Alright, so that's what up here. This is what is up here, and I'm heading back down. If you listen in the background, you can hear all the birds, and down the front you can hear the monkeys, you know. These walls, it's just so historic. I love to see stuff like this. And this wall, it seems, was built as a barrier so that cars don't go over the gully, or carts or whatever was used when this was built. So guys, I really appreciate the support. I really want to thank you all for watching these videos, supporting the channel. Remember that there's a PayPal link available if you all want to donate to the channel to fund my research or fund the tours we do. As you know, we have to pay to do some of these tours. So if you all want to do that, there's a PayPal link available below in the description, or you can just contact me at the phone number provided. Alright, so with that said, guys, I'm out of here, and my last stop for today will be at the St. James Parish Church, the oldest church in Barbados. Thank you all.